Good morning, fam. How are y'all doing today? Welcome in. This is kind of a check-in and also a checkup because we need to update on where the storm stands, the aftermath of that. There are some other things that are happening in the news as far as strikes concerned, not just the ports. There's another strike already happening or about to happen. Let's see. I definitely want to thank you guys for commenting, leaving your tips and your ideas concerning what I can do better the next time, because we all know there's going to be a next time. We just don't know when that next time is going to be as far as the flooding is concerned with around my property or your own property and things that you can do. So I appreciate those tips and ideas. I think I came up with something that'll do me for now, considering my husband be on the road a lot. So if something were to happen and he's not here, how I can handle that. And then some of the tips and ideas that I got from you guys, while they were and are good, I would have to do extra to it because it's also about keeping your neighborhood animals out of your chicken's coop and stuff like that. So thank y'all for coming in. I see you. I see you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Hey, Wins. Hey, Loving Nature. Hey, Broder. Hey, Diane. Good morning. Morning, Samantha. Thank y'all for coming in. I'm going to go ahead and share so that I can actually get outside and do something, and then I have to go somewhere. So before I start, God put it on my heart to start my video differently today. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Hey, Goal. So I'm going to start it off with Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And let's remember, let's not live in fear. Let's live in preparedness. There are things that we're going to do to prepare for things that may not even, it may not even work or be good enough, because things do have a way of, excuse me, changing. Hey, Waveland, what'd you say? Hold on. I know you lying. I know you lying, but I know you telling the truth. Oh, wait, I put the wrong one up. Here we go. So Waveland is saying Walmart's got toilet paper, 36 rolls, $29.99 online and in the store. It has begun. That's all I can say is it has begun. But what are you going to do about it? They know you need it. That's why it is the way it is. They know you need it. That's so sad. That has already started. Oh man, I lost track of my paper. I had some notes, y'all, because I want to stay on track. Because sometimes I get off and I go, oh, I forgot to tell them this, or I forgot to tell them that. Okay, so there it is. Let me put my pen in there. Oh, and thank y'all for the birthday wishes for my mother before we get into this story. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Speaking of mother, she went to the ER last night. I told her she must have partied too hard. Well, I told my sister to tell her she must have partied too hard. And they actually kept her to monitor her blood sugar and stuff. So prayers for her as well. But thank you for wishing her a happy birthday. Y'all, my birthday next week, if you want to know, okay? It's next week. It's the 11th. Okay, so let us get into this story. I have multiple stories. If you're just coming in, we're gonna do a hurricane update. We're going to talk about stocking up. There's another strike that's happening, and we're gonna find out what's going on with the port strikes, because apparently they have turned ugly in a certain state. Oh, and I have a note on here. Feel free to help this video get out to more people. Help it get over 500 likes. That helps the video get out. If you want to super chat $1, you can super chat $1, or you don't have to. That's up to you. Because YouTube gonna take majority of it anyway. But again, thank y'all, and let's get into this video. Come on, Mouse, where you at? But I tell you, it's gonna be a day. I can tell already. If you can see that, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, I think you can see it. So Helene death toll has risen to 189, making it the deadliest storm that hit mainland U.S. since Hurricane Katrina, which is what people up there, actually is not that far from me. That's what they've been calling it, their own Hurricane Katrina. That's how bad it is. It looked like a bomb went off in that area. So it says the confirmed death toll for Hurricane Helene rose to at least 189 people as of Wednesday evening, according to the Associated Press, making it the deadliest hurricane since Katrina to hit the mainland U.S. The storm surge, wind damage, and inland flooding from Hurricane Helene have been catastrophic, flooding neighborhoods, stranding residents, and destroying homes in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and Tennessee. Now, you don't hear a lot about Virginia in the news, but I did hear that they got hit hard. I'm sorry. Family group text about my mama. As recovery efforts continued across the Southeast, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris traveled to the region on Wednesday. Now, they're not mentioning, at least I don't see it in here, that Trump went there on Tuesday. I think it was either Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. They went to survey the destruction while rescuers keep searching for the missing. I just watched the story this morning, man. That story had me crying. Okay. I don't know. I might try to pull it up. It was so touching. Okay, so I'm here to say, who's saying this? Okay, this is what Biden said. I'm here to say the United States, the nation, has your back. Biden told the crowd in Raleigh, North Carolina, we're not leaving till you're back on your feet completely. Am I confused? Please tell me. Where was the storm the worst at? Not comparing damages, because the damage is a damage is a damage. And maybe he didn't want to go there. I know he said he didn't want to go and interfere with them rescuing and stuff, but Raleigh? Anyway, Helene, which made landfall in Florida's Big Bend region Thursday night as a massive Category 4 hurricane, was the strongest hurricane to make landfall in the Big Bend on record. 1.2 million customers still without power in some southern states as recovery efforts from Hurricane Helene's catastrophic force continue. 1.2 million customers are still without power in some southern states. I know my mother-in-law, she just got her power back yesterday. I need to text her because today is her birthday. Okay, as of Wednesday at 12:30 p.m., there were 1,276,000 customers without power. That's in the South. The hardest hit states are South Carolina with over 484,000 customers without power, North Carolina with over 343,000 customers without power, and Georgia with over 354,000 customers thousand customers without power. Outages are also reported in Florida at over 40,000, Virginia over 40,000, West Virginia over 13,000. So they say that Biden is deploying. This is an update story for those who are just coming in. Please hit the like button if you have not. It does help the channel get out to more people. So Biden is deploying up to 1,000 active duty troops to support NC National Guard. I can attest that I have seen so many vehicles being either driven in or on the back of tractor trailers being brought in. I even delivered an order, an Uber Eats order, to one of the men who were set up in a station that they have set up behind Northern Tools in Hickory. And they had sleeping quarters out there. I kind of recorded a little bit of it. Let me see if I can find it. They had trucks with fuel that once they get, like, radioed in, they will take it in to whatever area they need to take it to. Let's see. Here we go. Let me flip out of this for a minute so I can make sure that y'all can see what I'm about to show y'all. Okay. So y'all, I am behind Northern Tools. This is their emergency service response right here, where they have fuel for the towns that are going through a lot right now. And I just delivered to one of the guys. That's how I know, because I asked him, "What are y'all doing back here?" I don't mind asking people stuff. So yeah, let's pray for those people. I was gonna put that in a video, but I decided not to. But yeah, this whole area staged and sectioned off. Sleeping quarters and yeah, so they had sleeping quarters and all of that in there. It's bad, y'all. It's still bad here. My phone still goes off with the alerts, and I think I put it on my community post what the alerts are, so you can go check that out. I won't do it here again. So they're saying that Biden is deploying 1,000 active duty troops. President Joe Biden announced on Wednesday he has directed the deployment of up to 1,000 active duty soldiers to reinforce the North Carolina National Guard. The announcement comes as Biden will travel to South Carolina and North Carolina on Wednesday to survey the impacts of Hurricane Helene. But we see now he went to Raleigh. These soldiers will speed up the delivery of life-saving supplies of food, water, and medicine to isolated communities in North Carolina, because there are many communities, there are many areas, because it's the hills that they can't get to, that they're having to airdrop food, water, etc. I did watch a video today where this guy, he's been taking supplies up there. I am 36 minutes from Boone and 36 miles from Boone and 73 miles from, I'm sorry, my sister was texting me. 73 miles from Asheville, up that area. So I'm not far from that area. That's a lot. But he's been taking diapers, water, shelf-stable food, things like that. And they have like 3 different drop-off areas where he was going. So he was, taking it there. It's very muddy, so you need like a 4-wheel drive vehicle so you don't get stuck. But there are a lot of people who are helping. When I say this, I don't live in Hickory, but I do my Uber Eats in Hickory, which is like 30 minutes from me. they are overcrowded with people. I even delivered to someone who was from Asheville, but he came down to family member's house, and I delivered food to him, and he was like, we got to talking, and he was saying, you know, how he has to go back to work and he's not ready to go back there, but his job told him that he has to come back. So they say that these soldiers will speed up the delivery of life-saving supplies of food, water, medicine to isolated communities in North Carolina. They have the manpower and logistical capabilities to get this vital job done fast. Well, done and fast. They will join hundreds of North Carolina National Guard members deployed under state authorities to support of this response, Biden said. Hurricane Helene has been a storm of historic proportion. My heart goes out to everyone who has experienced unthinkable loss. We are here for you, and we will stay here for you as long as it takes, he said. The White House fact sheets say the soldiers will support the delivery of food, water, and other critical commodities to impacted communities. The fact sheet adds the deployment is effective immediately. The soldiers are part of the infantry battalion task force based in Fort Liberty, North Carolina, and includes a forward support company, according to the administration. So that's all I'm going to read on that. Hold on. Let me come back out of this thing here. Oh. Hey, Lakeisha. Lakeisha says, yes, ports closed. They've already started price gouging. Yep. You know, a lot of people, they, you know, surprised about the ports closing because all they focusing on is certain things in the news, and some people only watch like gossip channels and stuff like that. I watch it all. I want to know what's happening. There's only a few gossip channels that even cover stuff like this right here, and I appreciate them for doing it because that gets the word out to people who definitely not gonna watch the news. No gas last night at 3 gas stations. Where at? Hecky, where is that at? What state is that? Let the people know. If I keep looking at my phone, it's because we in a group chat with the siblings. Because, you know, my mom's in her 80s. What did she turn? 83? I think 83, yeah, because my dad had turned 84 before he passed in August. Let's see. Did Lakeisha respond? No. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next thing. Stop the screen for a minute. Let's find the next story that we want to talk about. Okay, we did the update. Let's do the ports. Oh no, that's the other strike. We don't want to do that one yet. Let's do this one. So, port workers' strike has turned violent in Baltimore. Let's see if I can make that a little bit bigger. I'm trying to get my thumbnail, y'all. Okay, so let's make me smaller and make that bigger. There we go. And if you hear something grumbling, that's my stomach. I'm trying to fast I'm trying to fast all day until tonight. So the port workers' strike turned violent in Baltimore Tuesday, just hours after the contract between the ports and about 45,000 members of the International Longmen's Association, called ILA, did their strike, well, started their strike rather. So they say the news reporter was at I'm trying to break it down and not read the whole thing, was at the Broing Highway Marine Terminal, and says initially there was confusion and anger as picketers allegedly tried to stop trucks from entering the complex. So they mean what y'all not bringing these trucks in here. So they meant that. Excuse me. She spoke with Robin, a trash hauler, who told her he had been attacked by some of the workers overnight. Now that's uncalled for. He said, I come here for 7 years. I pulled the trash and the debris out of here for the Port of Baltimore. The officer told me to come back and go in there and get out of my way. And they attacked me and broke the windshield and lacerated my face. Look at it, he says. Let's look at it. He just trying to pick up the trash. He ain't trying to take a load. He ain't trying to get a delivery. So this is getting violent, y'all. Union members at the scene told Alwick the truck hit one of the picketers as they swarmed around it. Fox 5 crews did see an ambulance come to assist, and we know that Robin did speak with the police officers. Baltimore police warned picketers that they cannot block the entrance to the port. Workers began picketing at the Port of Baltimore shortly after midnight, walking in a circle, holding signs that read, "Machines don't feed families, support ILA workers," and "No work without a fair contract," is what the sign said. The union initially demanded a 77% pay raise over 6 years, citing inflation and years of minimal increases. ILA members earn a base salary of about $81,000 annually, with some exceeding $200,000 due to overtime. I would think they would be talking about just doing the overtime and not having time off, like just working straight through. On Monday evening, the Alliance countered with a 50% raise over 6 years and promised to maintain existing limits on automation. The union, however, seeks a complete ban on automation. The exact gap between the two sides remains unclear. So they still have not come up with anything. When did this? Today is what, y'all? What's today? Thursday? We're racking up. We're racking up. Every day that they stay on the picket line is less items in the store down the road. We are prepared to fight as long as necessary, they say, to stay out on strike for whatever period of time it takes to get the wages and protections against automation or ILA members deserve. And that was the union leader speaking. They must now meet our demands for this strike to end. The Alliance's offer also include tripling employer contributions to retirement plans and enhancing health care options. Supply chain experts suggest consumers won't immediately feel the strike. I told y'all that. Y'all, we're not supposed to immediately feel the strike, but according to the comments, they're already raising the price on toilet paper, as retailers have preemptively stocked up on goods, including holiday supplies. But I did let y'all know not all of those supplies made it in time. The strike is expected to quickly impact perishable imports such as bananas, Ports affected by the strike handle 3.8 million metric tons of bananas annually, accounting for 75% of U.S. supply. I got 3 brown bananas on my table because I'm gonna make me a banana bread. The strike could also disrupt exports from East Coast ports and cause congestion at West Coast ports, where workers belong to a different union. So West Coast might be getting affected as well. While railroads claim they can increase freight capacity from the West Coast, analysts believe it won't be enough to compensate for the closure of these eastern ports. This says Charleston ILA planning to join thousands of port workers in strike also. Oh my goodness. Not Charlie Lolly, not the Charleston area. When the clock strikes midnight Tuesday, tens of thousands of dock workers plan to strike at all Atlantic and Gulf Coast ports. The mass walkout at ports feared to have a trickle-down effect in the industry looms as the 6-year contract between the International Longshoremen's Association and the United States Maritime Alliance nears expiration. It's tough, especially for drivers, you know. If they don't work, they don't get paid. Cumby is the terminal manager at All Points Transport. That's an intermodal trucking company in North Charleston. So what is the trucking company saying? He said customers have come to them requesting to pre-fill the containers ahead of the potential strike. Well, the strike's already happened, so I don't know when they did this story. He said that's unusual. An average of 15 containers at the yard is now 55 to 60. So they've been doing their orders, trying to get the stuff in. He says what we have that we pre-pulled we will schedule delivery to the customers. And once those deliveries are done, then they're done. The empty will be on the yard, or the load will be on the yard. If the customer loads the container and then that's it, it stops again until work goes back again. So while they have pre-ordered and things are sitting at this trucking company, he's saying, once they deliver those out to these stores, there's no more. Not until the ports open back up. And so, y'all, when the ports open back up, there's going to be a container crunch because you have ships that are just sitting with these containers on them, not able to load because of the strike. They're saying the 25,000 workers covered in the current agreement are calling for better wages and a complete ban on cranes, gates, and container loading and unloading in the next master contract. As of Monday evening, there was still no settlement. So here we are in the strike, 3 days later? ILA represents 85,000 members in total. So we have all these other areas that are now striking as well. And how this is going to trickle down to this is going to trickle down to West Coast. So that's what's happening with the ports. I had one that said what all is going to be affected. Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Hey, Birdie. Hey, Dave. Hey, Hecky for Christ. Hey, Minnie, Judy. How are y'all this morning? Hey, Crafts Beauty. Lydia, how are you? Thank you for hitting that like button. I really do appreciate it. That is the free way to support. I mean, inflation's already insane. Egg prices are already going back up, mainly because of the bird flu. but definitely gonna go back up now because they're gonna be in short supply. What does she say? I work at the only Walgreens in North Dakota. Yeah. You're going to see them prices rise. Take a picture of it now. Take a picture of it next week. You will see. You definitely will see. So let me go to find this other one related to the port. How many of y'all are stocking up? There we go. These products will be affected by the dock workers' port strike. I think more than what they're probably going to say in this is, here's a, let me make sure y'all can see that. Yeah, y'all can see that. What does the sign say? ILA workers over machines defend our jobs and rights. Okay, numerous products will be affected by the port strike as thousands of dock workers along the eastern Gulf Coast walked off the job on Tuesday, October 1st. Over 36 ports have shut down in negotiations between the Maritime Alliance and the ILA. As a result, many items will likely increase in price over the coming months, especially if the dock strike remains unresolved. Here's a list of what products consumers should consider stocking up on as the holiday season draws closer. And before I get to them, I think last week or the week before, I told y'all in a video. It was when my daughter had her baby, but she had been wanting sweet potato pie. And I could not find any, because she had cinnamon, but she didn't have nutmeg. And so I was searching in that store. And finally, I found one tiny container. This tiny container. Hold on. Come on, Tommy, get it together now. Messing up the presentation. Messing up the presentation. Hold on, let me. This little container here of McCormick's nutmeg was almost $3, and it was the last one. And in that video, I told y'all, please go ahead. If you're baking anything this holiday, or you think you might bake, go ahead and get what you need now. Because it's going to be hard to find. It's going to be hard to find, and it's going to cost a lot, for sure. Okay. Oh, where we at? There we go. So let's go. It says a wide range of items will be affected by the port strike, including food, alcohol, clothing, pharmaceuticals, cars, and more. And they're giving a breakdown. So with perishable foods, produce will be greatly affected by the port strike, especially soybean, eggs, poultry as exports, and bananas, mangoes, avocados, coffee, cocoa, salt, sugar, and seafood as an import. Soybeans, eggs, poultry as exports, and bananas, mangoes, avocados, coffee, cocoa, salt, sugar. That's a lot of baking items. And seafood as an import. Even if sellers are able to move these products by plane, the increased shipping rates will raise their prices. And you know, if they raise their shipping prices, which they will, it's going to raise how much you spend. Fruit, let's see. The Orange County Register that any fruit that arrives after October 1st will be condemned to the trash can as long as the port strike is in place. Can you imagine how much fruit they are throwing away right now? That's sad because there are people that are hungry right now. Auto parts, over 55,000 of auto parts enter the U.S. from Asia through the ports that are shut down due to this strike, as noted by supply chain professor Jason Miller. This will cause widespread disruption to the auto manufacturing sectors across the country. Tire imported by Michelin, Goodyear, and more will also be stuck at the ports. Electronics, machinery parts, cell phones, and computers come from Asian nations through these ports as well. Wine and spirits, any imported wine, beer, and spirits from South America, Europe, and the Caribbean will be unavailable. Though America has a lot of options for alternatives, the American Farm Bureau says that 80% of imported beer, wine, whiskey, and scotch come through affected ports. Pharmaceuticals. And I can vouch for this because I just put in my prescriptions and a couple of them are delayed. That's all it says, delayed. So drug shortages could mount if the dock strike doesn't end within a month. That said, pharmaceutical products can be shipped by air more easily than other items. And mind you, there's been shortages of medication since 2020, honestly. I hear the doctors and the nurses saying that whenever I had to go to the hospital or whatever. Well, we don't have this or we don't have that. Like I had to have surgery on, what did I have surgery on, my hand or my foot that time? And it was my foot. And they didn't have a medicine that they normally use during surgery for pain. So they had to use something else. It says many retailers and manufacturers, including IKEA, Costco, Samsung, Walmart, have already expedited holiday goods orders and stockpiled products in anticipation of the dock strike. I showed y'all the Costco the other day. They were very well stocked on that toilet paper because they know how to go out there. And I think almost every cart, somebody had toilet paper or paper towel in it. And I'll be looking for the food. Where the food at? However, Jonathan Gold from the National Retail Federation says the retailers will still have issues replenishing the stock and will incur extra warehouse costs for longer storage. Other factors are also impacting supply chains. And I am going to go to Costco today. Not Costco, because Costco is an hour away. I ain't doing it. We don't have a Costco. Well, we don't have nothing in the town. I mean, I always have to go to Hickory, but Hickory don't have a Costco. All they have is a Sam's Club, and now they have a U.S. Foods here. Well, there, and so I am going to go to Sam's Club today just to take a looky-loo and see what's going on in there. I haven't seen it when I passed by. I haven't seen any lines out the door since that last time, but. It says other factors are also impacting supply chain, include the widespread damage and flooding from Hurricane Helene and the Houthis' attack on international commercial shipping, which all I have told y'all about is a lot. Okay, so in the Red Sea, the Houthis are attacking anything they think is a U.S. cargo ship. They don't care what's on it. They're attacking it. So some companies or shipping companies are taking the longer route, but it still takes months to do that. And it takes more fuel, more manpower, more money we're going to pay in the end. So Biden, who had the ability to intervene and stop this whole strike from even happening right now. He decided he wasn't going to do it. He was going to let them handle it. I still think that there's something to that. I feel like it's more of, well, let's let them go ahead and strike. This is just an opinion now. Let's let them go on strike. Give it a few days or a week or whatever. Then maybe we'll intervene and we'll come off as the saviors of it. And we, wanted to make sure that the American people did not have to pay 1 penny more than they needed to pay. Anyway, that's just my thought. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. President Biden stated on Monday that he would not intervene in the dock workers' strike because there's collective bargaining. The Teamsters Union have neither endorsed Kamala Harris nor Donald Trump out. My daughter sent me a video. This was right after the storm. This is what the store in Irmo, South Carolina looked like. And she don't live in Irmo, but because they've closed so many Walmarts, there's none in her area. She has to drive over there to shop. Oh, wrong way. It's just completely empty. She sounds just like me. Oh my God. She sounds just like me. Her cute little self. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. People who already have stores that are, having a hard time restocking now because of the storm. Now add this on to it with the strike and what's going on. That's a lot. I really do hope that you guys are stocking up. So I went down to my pantry just to not say inventory, but to look and take a picture of what I have. That way, when I do start stocking up again, which will be soon, hopefully, I can have a visual, because I don't, but some of y'all already seen my pantry. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Put it this way. God, I always get confused with this stupid thing. This is my pantry. That's my canned goods that I stocked up, which I need to get some apples because I need some more applesauce, and I need some apple pie filling. I need to make that. This is my pantry. So while I do have a lot of things, I know that I do have things that I am short on that I need to put in there. And it's okay to admit you have fallen off, girl. You have fallen off from what you were doing. So I'm definitely going to have to add more items. I just recently got some more rice. I need to get a little bit more sugar. And I'm trying to get my baking items. And I'm trying to also get things that if I don't feel like cooking, or if the power is out, we can still eat. And it doesn't have to be warmed up, even though I could warm it up. It doesn't have to be warmed up. So I encourage you, please start getting items for your home. We have hurricane season. We have all these different viruses out here. We have the port strike. So it's better to have, not need it, than to need and not have it. And have to go wait in possibly long lines like the one I showed you the other day. So let's go to the next strike. My mouse is, the battery must be low on it. Union strikes continue to halt production. A news release from the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Worker emailed Tuesday stated that workers were informed of the cuts by U.S. Postal Service notification to their homes. The move is being criticized by striking union members as the misstep by Boeing. details about some prescriptions that are delayed. And that makes absolutely no sense. I mean, I know companies have to pay more for healthcare coverage for their employees, but that makes absolutely no sense to me at all. We may be seeing, and some of us are already seeing it from the looks of the comments, the higher prices. Hey, Nubian. Hey, Growing. Good morning. Sweetie says, buckle up, buttercup. It's not what she said, but pretty much what she said. Okay, we did. Let's go choose. Hey, David. Good morning, Ellen. Hey, T. Cheryl. T. Cheryl. Trina says a 60 count eggs is $19 in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Y'all let me know what y'all seeing for egg prices in your area. The last time I looked was the other day, might have been 3 days ago. They were $17. But I do note that depending on what Walmart you in, what area, the egg prices are different. So I can't just say all Walmart eggs in North Carolina are $17 because sometimes they be a little less, sometimes they be a little bit more. So I guess I'm going to start doing walkthroughs again, y'all. And we're going to follow the progress of full shelves to seeing if they start to dwindle down in certain areas and also what the prices are looking like. So I think I'll do that today. I will do a walkthrough showing what the prices are. And then in a few more days later, I'll do another one just to see if it's changed. Because it's going to happen right before our eyes. It really, really is. I'm pretty sure the answer is everything. Yeah. For prices going up. Yep, you're right. Everything. You're right. Let's see. Lisa is stocking up, dehydrating, and canning. That is awesome, Lisa. Hey, Happy Mac, how are you? Happy Mac says, I am stocked, but I'm trying to help my mom stock up. She's stubborn. Yeah, sometimes you just got to make a care package for people if you can afford to do it. I've done that before. Like, it's not like my daughter she knows what's going on. But when you have, kids and you just had another one and you're working, she doesn't really do her own shopping. Sometimes she do the delivery service. I'm surprised she even went to the store. So I don't know. Yeah, lots of flooding. Lots of flooding. Thank you, PJ. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Kathy. So y'all, I'm gonna get out because as you can see, I got videos I need to do, but before I can do that, I need to do some stuff around here. I need to feed the animals and just do a walk around. I need to see what the weather's gonna be. And it seems like every time I get on 40, well, it does it here too, but when I get on 40, whether it's west or east, my alert starts going off. But they did say that 40 west is open, but only up to a certain point. 40 west, like you can get in there, but they don't want you to come in here unless you are, bringing supplies or going to volunteer. But 40, where Tennessee, South Carolina line is, that I believe is still closed. Don't quote me on that. Let's see. The good part is they aren't calling for any rain in my area, not even next week. So that's a plus. I see the weather's dropping though up here in the mountains. The lows are like in the lower 40s. Um, it's going to be almost 79. Well, it's going to be 79 today, but cloudy. Now, there have been light rain spurts here and there, even when they don't call for it. But it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. Hold on. There we go. So thank y'all for coming in. If you haven't hit the like, please hit that like before you leave. It is appreciated. It does help the channel. I do want to say thank you to all of you guys for supporting the channel. It's encouraging to me to keep going, because there are times where I do feel a little like, oh my gosh, it's so much, and I try not to give y'all all of that, but I do want y'all to be as prepared as you possibly can. As you can see, oh, I didn't go over. Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't go over that. Things happen no matter how much you prepare. I've seen other content creators that I watch on YouTube that live in the Asheville area, and I know they do hardcore, serious preparation around their homes. And even they said the same thing. You can do all you can do, but there are a lot of things that are out of your control. And that's when you have to leave it with God. And that's pretty much my sentiment. I could only do what I could do as one person who's not very equipped to do a lot of things that my husband do around here. And while he does take care of a lot of stuff around here, and we try to make sure like the water is away from the house or whatever, but that storm was not a regular storm. And there was nothing I think we could personally do to make that any better. With the drainage and stuff like that, that had to be taken care of before we could even buy the house. The VA would not even approve the loan until the homeowner that was selling it took care of that. So I think they just did just enough to pass that inspection again, because they failed it the first time. And obviously for that type of rain is not enough. And it's very costly to do the things that we probably could do. So there's that as well, because adding another drainage to where the water's coming down off the roof, in the gutter and down and then out, while it was effective for a regular rainstorm or whatever, it was not for a hurricane or a tropical storm. That will probably require tearing up the pavement in that area to put down more drainage leading outward. And even in leading outward, it's like, where is it going to go? To my neighbor's yard, So it's a lot of things that we are thinking about doing, wanting to do, but having the funds to do sometimes is not always possible. As for the chickens, because I got a lot of great tips and ideas of things that I could do. And my husband's laying in bed while I was reading them the other night. And I was like, I would say it to him, and he was like, yeah, but if we did that, then we got to do something else, because it's not going to keep animals from getting, like, if we set the chicken coop up higher, because I was like, oh, well, yeah, we could set them up like maybe some cinder blocks and put that on whatever. He was like, yeah, but then you're going to have that issue with like the time when we had a fox in the yard, or, the neighborhood cats and stuff like that. So those are also things that we have to think about in doing that. And the only thing I can think of right now, because some people say, well, you could put the chickens in the shed, and that is true. You can't. I have something already that when they were biddies, little chicks, that I raised them inside of my sunroom. It's the boards that I bred my rabbits in, let my rabbits breed in. Also, I made that myself. And I probably could have, had I thought about it, I probably could have set that up in the shed, put down a tarp and some shavings, and then put the chickens in there. But I think an easier way to do it, especially if I'm here by myself, or well, not by myself, my daughter lives here too, but I could also just stick them in their nesting box and shut the door and let them be in there. At least they're not walking in that water and stuff like that. So, but I guess with the fact that they're barely laying eggs for me, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to cold them and put them in my freezer for my dog, and get more chicks in for the spring. That's probably why I just left them out there, because I didn't know what I was going to do with them anyway. So there's that. FEMA just said can't cover costs for hurricane season because Biden Harris moved FEMA funds to illegal. Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, anything could happen. I do know that I saw personally, the lady say that was in the area in somewhere in North Carolina, probably Asheville. She's like, "Where's FEMA? They should be set up somewhere here, and they're not." So that much I do know. They're not there. They might be there now, but they're not. They weren't there a few days ago. So. Sam's Club eggs, 7.5 dozen eggs were $14.41 in July. In Michigan, they are 20. Wow. Are you serious? That is a lot. If you store them properly, sweetie, seeds will last you a long time. But yeah, all seeds have somewhat of an expiration. Even if you bought seeds out of a store, they come with the expiration on the pack. It doesn't mean you need to toss them out at that expiration. I will still plant them because you never know what's going to come up. I wouldn't be throwing away seeds personally if the expiration says October 3rd, October 4th. I would not be throwing them away because they could still come up. Amen. It is. It is. I did. We got the water up, my daughter and I, and of course, water will be under the floorboards and stuff like that. So I did put my husband's like industrial fan down there. Not to say that that's going to dry everything out, but we were going to replace the floors anyway. We just weren't planning to replace the floors now because we have so many other things that we have to take care of around here. So we still have not decided when we're going to start tearing them up. I don't want to tear them up unless we already have the floors. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't want to put the floors down until I know that we've added another piece to where that water was pooling at in the first place. I think, yeah, I showed y'all that in the day of that it had started raining. And I said, I don't like the way this is looking, because it normally would not, that water would not have been there. But like I said, this was not the regular rainstorm. This was a hurricane, a serious category 4 hurricane that came through, that a lot of us up here in North Carolina mountains, we did not get that warning that it would be that bad for us. You see what I'm saying? So I have seen, and I even commented, like my cousin had put in a group chat that a man had saved this woman, and then he, she was in floodwaters and he risked his own life and he saved her. And then he invited them to his daughter's reception a few days later, whatever. but how people need to heed the warnings when they tell you to get out. I am in agreement with that. Heed the warnings when they tell you to get out. Leave. Take what you can and leave. But in this case, a lot of us, I don't remember hearing, and y'all know I try to pay attention to that. I don't remember hearing that we up here in the mountains was going to get hit the way we got hit. My husband's grandmother's property and his property that he bought with his father, which sits behind it. Hold on, y'all. Which sits behind it, they still don't have power up there. They don't have power in Lenoir, North Carolina either. So, and they're farther up the mountain than we are. So they're closer to Boone than I am. While I'm 37 miles or whatever from Boone, they're probably like 20 miles from Boone. So they still don't have power. My husband was up there cutting trees over the weekend. So we didn't get that it was going to be as bad for us. So yeah, a lot of people left, but a lot of people didn't leave because we didn't think it was going to be as bad. Now I know storms can change and this, that, and the third. So if you feel you need to leave, yes, leave, definitely. But as far as we were going to get water, and water is one of the, I've always said that is one of the top things that can destroy your homestead, your property. It just is. There's no way around it. There's no amount of prepping for that. Like you can prep, but you don't know how bad it can be. So that's where that stands. But yeah, y'all stay safe. There's more storms out there. It's at least 3. They don't know if it, right now they're saying it's not headed for landfall. At least one of them is supposed to turn back out. So hopefully that will happen. Y'all missing opened up that nutmeg. Lord Jesus. Can't wait to make my banana bread. So y'all, again, stay safe. What does this person say? Because I invite all tips and ideas. Put in a drain pipe, a large tank to catch the water from the roof, filter. Yeah, I've said that to my husband time and time again. He just has not gotten around to it. That's what I'm saying. It's only so much I can do. He just hasn't gotten around to it. He is a truck driver, and that's how we make our living. And if his wheels aren't spinning, we're not making a living. While I also make a living from YouTube as well, but I typically take my YouTube money and he does the house and I do my son in college, and that's expensive because he don't live on campus. I pay his rent. Use the water for your garden. Yeah. Yeah, because I told him what I wanted. I showed him the one that I wanted and stuff. I even looked on Facebook Marketplace because those things are expensive, just buying them straight out the store. But I do want one right up underneath my summer. Well, it's not underneath, but next to it where the drain is coming down at. I want one there. And I think if that would be a better way to do that too. I'm glad you said that because it's making me think, Judy. Instead of trying to figure out the expense on, yeah, it's going to cost a lot to dig up and then trench out. Right there where that I showed y'all where that water was coming out at, that would be the perfect place That would be the perfect, hold on. That would be the perfect place to put that. Let me stop sharing for a second. Let me see. Judy, you just gave me. I'd rather have that expense than to have the expense of having someone come in and trench out and dig and all that, this, that, and the third. I really would. Let me see if I can find. Let's see what can I find that video. Okay, I think it was this one right here. Give me a second. Let me pause this right here. Let me share it. For those who didn't see that video. Okay. Now let me share. It's right here. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see that before I click play. Oh, I'm so far up in the chat. My husband said we should go to the mountains when, like, further up in the mountains when things, get back to whatever, and get us a what's that metal detector thing? He said, because I know it's some bank money in that river. I said, I can't even think that far. Okay, so y'all see the one, I think they call it magnetic fishing or something like that. People do it, have it on their channels and stuff. Okay, so this is what I was showing y'all a day or two before. So I had water coming down this ditch, and then the ditch sits behind the garden over there on the right. And then I have my chickens right here.
Morning.
I'm
I have
saying
been
I want
fighting
to put
to get
them,
this video up to you
just put
guys
them
ever
in their
since I
coop the
recorded
next
it.
time something like this
is
happens.
actually
As opposed
the
to trying
day
to figure
of the
out
storm.
whatever. When they go in their coop that night, I would just shut the door because they go in on their own. I'm trying to find the area. Oh, yeah. And so this water coming out of this pipe here, that's coming from down the road or whatever. I didn't put that in. That's city stuff. Somebody was saying, why is the neighbor doing that? The neighbor didn't do that. That's whatever they did, the roads and stuff in this little back area when they built this property. So all of that was flooded. Let's see. That's me putting out pine shavings for them. I should have just put the nest in their little living room at night. I'm trying to get to that water part. Not that. I already showed y'all that. But definitely go check this video out. I did what I could do. Here, I was talking to y'all, and I was like, I don't even like the way this look. And I pant to it. Food was overflowing. I was letting water out. Let's see. This area here, I could put one right there where all that water has never come out right there like that.
Look at that.
So that would be a great place to put that water tank to catch all of that water. But I would probably have to have 2 of them because the way that water was coming out, it will fill up a tank real fast. So yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy. Oh, okay. Apply for disaster. What'd you say? Can't see it over there. Apply for disaster, food stamps, and unemployment. Any government money helps. Prayers for your family and everyone affected. Rumor has it that this is whether a lot of countries are doing that. That's not made up for sure. That's why they do a lot of cloud seeding to try to figure out how they can use that against other countries. That's a good idea, sweetie. Cars are already expensive. They are already expensive. But y'all, let me go. I got things I got to do, and it's almost 10 o'clock. I've been on here a long time. Definitely share the video out if you can. Subscribe if you have not. And welcome to all the new subscribers. I appreciate you being here. I see you. Thank you. I'm seeing a lot of people I have not ever seen before, and it is appreciated. God is truly a blessing if you let him. Let me leave you with this before I go. Because if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're going through the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, you are not stuck. You just stopped. Okay? You don't have to, I wrote this down, and this was just me saying this. You don't have to see what you need to see to know that you can get to the next step. You don't need to do that. Just take that step. You are not stuck. You stopped. Even if I have stumbled during trying to take that step, meaning you had a mistake or you messed up, even if I stumbled and even if I fall, you got to get back up. You got to keep moving, because even in that stumble, it is a step forward. Even if you took 2 steps back, keep going. Don't stop. Get it. Y'all take care. I love you, but God truly loves you more. He created only one you. Be the very best you that you can be. And when you are, go out and spread God's love, because God is love. He will want you to do that. Each one teach one. There's something that's inside of you that can benefit others. Don't keep it to yourself. God wouldn't want you to do that. He would want you to share it. Love you. See you in the next video. And look out for these store walkthroughs, because they're coming, because I got to keep up with the prices. I know it's going to get crazy. I do. I just have a feeling. And something's telling me I need to show that to you. Bye, y'all. Turn your notifications on. Otherwise, you're going to miss my call. I'll call you.